what you're going to remember about us?
Well, also, I just had a very good conversation with the Honourable Foreign Minister, and what I remember is so much ground we've covered in the last 3 years as EU Bangladesh. Aside from my personal attachment to the country, which is very strong, I've really been happy to see the growth in our collaboration. It's maturing as a relationship. I think, as we discussed now with the Foreign Minister, we really need to have a laser focus on graduation that's coming from LDC status, and now we're looking ahead at that 5 years' time when our transition period will end. So we're all focusing on that. We all want a smooth transition. So I've been happy in the last 3 years that we've built together as EU Bangladesh a strong foundation for that transition, whether that's progress on the National Action Plan on the labour sector, or the work that's being done extensively in Bangladesh on environmental compliance. But relationships matter, and this relationship really matters a lot, and that's reflected in the decision to negotiate a new partnership agreement. So we've also talked about that, and I'll be following with a very close eye still from Brussels, because I'm extremely interested in how all this evolves, and I'll be covering Indo-Pacific affairs. Of course, Bangladesh is a key country in that context, and I think what I want to see also in the coming years is much more of an understanding of the strategic position and role of Bangladesh in foreign policy, where we can meet with Bangladesh and discuss foreign policy issues as well, including in the context of the Indo-Pacific. I think in the region, Bangladesh, as a stable country, has to deal with many issues, including the Rohingya, 1.3 million Rohingya. Of course, on the other side of the border, a very uncertain situation, a very volatile situation. We are having to grapple with the Ukraine, unrest or not unrest, the Russian aggression in Ukraine, and that's no sign of that ending. So that inevitably colours our foreign policy, and we have to deal with our own security in the European neighbourhood. So we will have new leadership in Europe, as you know, including a new High Representative. So that laser focus for us will be important. But we look to friends like Bangladesh to work on those issues with us as far as it's possible. And that's certainly been the case in my tenure, that we have been able to work on some key foreign policy issues as well. I understand the revision will happen again in September, so we're having lots of conversations about that. We have the very clear roadmap, the National Action Plan on the labour sector. So that's the key thing. We all know and all have agreed what needs to be done. So we'll be very interested to see what comes out in September. We're working with the ILO and with the government on these issues. So that's key, of course, to GSP+. Absolutely key. I'm being dragged out. I don't want to leave, so I'll be very sad to leave Bangladesh. I've had so many great experiences travelling around Bangladesh. This morning we were reminiscing at a PKSF event about a visit I made with PKSF to Shakira. Keep building EU-Bangladesh relations. It's a long message, but invest in those relations, and I know that he's coming with great enthusiasm, so I think he'll be a good friend of Bangladesh.